Today's video, I'm going to show you how to change the brake pads and the rotors on a 2005 all the way up to a 2014 second generation Toyota Tacoma. One thing you got to keep in mind is the rotors are going to change from I believe a TRD and then an SR5. Make sure that if you have a 6 slug or a 5 lug, you get the proper rotors. Big shout out to Rock Auto. This is not a sponsored video. I wish it was. But Rock Auto has the best prices for any car parts that are OEM. I picked up some OEM replacement rotors and some ceramic pads, Robusto, I think it is, Robusto brake rotors, and then I forgot what brake pads are, kind of some generic ones. It's a Tacoma, you know, I just wanted to stop, and the reason why I'm changing my brakes is actually I'm getting the rotors are actually warped. So what happens is the steering wheel starting to vibrate at 40 miles an hour plus. So I'm excited to change them. I'm going to show you the process step by step. And I already finished one, so I can show you one side and I'm going to start on the other one. I have a good idea how to do it. It's actually really simple from a scale 1 to 10. I'm going to rate this one like a number 3. As long as you have all the tools, it's pretty simple, and you follow this video, you can knock it out of the park within 2 to 3 hours. Let me show you the parts and let's move forward. Excuse me for all the sweating, but it's about 100 degrees out here in Texas and it's really humid. If I would have gone to AutoZone and picked up those rotors, those pads, and some hardware, it would have came out to about 200, right under 200 bucks. Rock Auto, I got everything shipped for $96. So there's a big savings that you can make, and they have a lot of quality parts. If it's an OEM part that's replacement, something that you can get at AutoZone, you can definitely get it at Rock Auto. So go ahead and check out their website. I'll show you the card in a bit. So I'm going to go over the pads first. Here are the pads I picked up. They're ceramic pads. I already installed one set, and it comes with some lube for the back so it doesn't squeak. Some hardware retainers. It actually comes with all the clips that are in here for your retainers, which is pretty cool. Here's one side, and here's the other side. And like I said, these are ceramic, so those will have a little bit more stopping power than semi-metallic, I guess. Here are some retainers that I bought that you replace, and you'll see that in a bit. That came in the kit too that I purchased. This right here, you really don't need to replace them, but they were only $2 for the set, so I went ahead and replaced it. And just remember, order 2 sets. I only ordered 1 set, which I messed up. On one side I'll just use the original. Here are the rotors. You can see they're Robustos, or here's the rotor. There's the brand Robustos. And then here's a rotor, just a stock OEM rotor. Nothing too crazy. I think these were like 20 bucks. At AutoZone, these are 60. So let me go ahead and show you the side that we just installed. Here are the new rotors. New hardware, new brake pads. So yeah. So let me go ahead and get started. That's what it looks like. And we'll finish up the other side. It's really simple, guys. We'll go step by step and I'll tell you every tool you need. So we're first gonna start with needle nose, and what we're gonna do first, I'm gonna zoom in right now so you guys can see. We're gonna remove 2 pins that hold these retainers that I was showing you earlier, those little rods. So let me zoom in so you guys can see. We're gonna take out 1 and 2. Here's the first one. We're gonna use needle nose pliers. You're gonna pinch it here, and then all you do is pry it out. Now turn it a little bit. Let me so you can see it. I'm gonna get it right here and pull up so you can see what it looks like. We're gonna remove these rods next. I'll leave it a wide shot. I'm gonna use this little flathead to push them out. So you want to go from the back side right here. Let's see what's camera better. See right here? Sometimes you can just push it right out. See that? The rod comes right out. Grab it here and just pull it right out. Now you're going to remove this guy here. All you're going to do is pinch it, and it comes right out. You get new ones of these, but just save them just in case you lose the other ones. I highly recommend that you get yourself a little bucket so you can put all your little knickknacks so you don't lose them. That's what I'm doing. Next thing you want to do is go ahead and remove your brake reservoir cap. So when you push and compress the pistons, fluid can raise. And what I do is I always put it here, so when I close the hood and I forget to put this back on, at least the hood won't close and it'll remind me. Pro tip. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to pry 1, 2, 3, 4 pistons, so we can pull out those pads. So what I've been doing is I've been going in here and kind of just prying like that as best as you can. This is going to set you up when you put the new pads and rotors. I kind of damaged the old ones like that, but whatever. I'm not going to use those again. Let me pry this one a little better. When you pull out the back one, that one has the actual sensor. I guess it doesn't. Oh, it's right here. This one has a sensor right here, so you know when the pads are almost gonna start to squeak. So get rid of that. Next thing we're gonna do is remove some bolts to remove the caliper. What I want you to do is focus on this bolt here. This is a bracket for the brake line. We're gonna use a 12 millimeter to break this bolt right here. That's the next step. Kind of hit it and loosen that bracket. Alright, so the next thing I want you to get is a bungee like this, because we're going to hang the caliper on this bungee. Go ahead and just put it on your spring so it's ready to go. You can use a shoelace, anything, long as it's not dangling and jacking up the hard and soft line of the brake line. So this is the best angle I could get to remove the 17 millimeter 2 bolts that are here behind the caliper. Alright, there's one of the bolts. It's a 17 millimeter. So you're gonna lift the rotor. You're gonna get one of the sponges, go on the bottom. You're gonna raise this, and put it there, and hopefully it's out of the way. This rotor's already loose, but the other one I was having trouble. You want to hit it right here on the corner if it's like seized on the corner. It'll come off. There you go. Okay, the next thing you want to do is clean the back of the rotor, because they put oil so they don't rust. You want to take that oil off with brake cleaner so it doesn't glaze your brake pad over. You just want to have these as clean as possible. And I recommend for this job to pick up 2 brake cleaners of this size. Remember, this is when it becomes important to know if you have a 6 or a 5 lug nut hub. So just push as back as you can. Just thread it a little bit and then go ahead and put on the second one. We're gonna get our 17 millimeter 1/2 inch drive and start tying the bolts. Alright, we're gonna bolt up this bracket back. The tip I want to give you guys, if you want the rotor to settle back as far as possible, go ahead and put some lug nuts on each side, and it'll really push the rotor back so you're not fighting to put in the brake pads. So this next step is very, very important. This is the brake pad. Behind the brake pad is what pushes the pistons touch. This is a part of contact. This is where you get some squeaking. You want to go ahead and put this lubrication on here. You're going to put like a few dabs. They don't give you much. I recommend you pick some up at the local auto parts store. Should have done that. Okay, so you put a couple dabs. A little bit goes very far. Try not to touch this part, okay? You don't want to get any oil on that. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and start rubbing it with your finger and just try to cover a thin layer of this grease so your brake pads don't squeak. Because this is a part where it's going to be metal and metal contact. You want to have lubrication, or not it's going to make noises. It's very important, as is important of cleaning all the surfaces that are going to touch. See, that little bit goes a long way. Ow. Look at that. Now the next thing I want you to do is turn it around without getting brake cleaner on this part. Go ahead and throw brake cleaner on the pads. Just a light layer. That's all you need. Awesome, that's all you need to do that. Easy, should go super easy. Shouldn't be struggling one bit. Alright, so here's the other brake pad. I did the same thing on the back. I layered it. This has a little sensor right here. I don't know if you can tell, there's a sensor right there. So this one's gonna go on the back side. Then we gotta spray it with brake cleaner real quick. Awesome. Remember, you want to get the holes outside. Go ahead and slide it in. Should go super easy like that. So I went a little extra on this next thing and put some assembly grease on these new pins because they're fresh and I want them to go in there smooth. You don't want to put too much because you don't want the stuff to get on the pads, but just enough to so it goes in smooth. That's more than enough. Take it off, and then they go from the front side this way. Finesse the hole right here because this pin has to go through on both pads. Okay. So push it in. You're gonna get this one in, get it through one, go to the next one, and then bam, we're in. So the brake pads come with new pins. You're gonna go ahead and line it up to the hole. Just gotta push it through. Done. Now it's not gonna come out. And the other one's gonna be a little more difficult. Let me get a close up. We have to mess with this retainer clip thingy. So what you want to do is you're gonna put this side on this side like that. Right? These two little things are going to rest outside of the pad, but this hole right here, give me a second, this pin needs to be through these like that, but going through all the holes through the caliper. So this is probably the toughest part of the whole install. A little bit of grease goes a long way. All right. Down through that one. There, we're in. Just got to play with it a little bit. Done. We're basically done. So that pretty much wraps the install video. Hopefully that helps for you guys. If you have any comments, leave them down below and I'll help you as best as I can. For the break-in process, what I do, I'm pretty sure you can find more videos on YouTube on how to do it properly or look it up online. But what I've done over the years, and it's worked for me, is just be very cautious the first few outings you have driving the car with the brake pads. Go light on the brakes. And then after little by little, you know, go to like 40 miles per hour, slow down, 20 miles an hour, slow down. And just keep braking in the pads like that and you should be totally fine. So like I said, if you guys have any questions, leave comments down below. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one.